It's time to pop the top off with Pub Talk. Today, we have some very sad news with the passing of Kobe Bryant that just happened yesterday. Some Super Bowl final thoughts, some Super Bowl headlines for this weekend. The Pro Bowl just happened on Sunday as well. And Hops of the Week to finish this off. But before we begin, Pub Talk is brought to you by Route 11 Chips. Playoff football is here and the Super Bowl is this weekend. You're going to need some chips for that big party on February 2nd, and Route 11 has got you covered. Since 1992, Route 11 has been chipping away to give its consumers a great and tasty product. So make sure you check out your local Martin's Food Line and Giant to pick up a bag today. All right, lights, beer, action. Back to Pub Talk, brought to you by Route 11 Chips. We're back in the pub. Biff will not be joining us here today. He had some family issues to take care of.
Family.
So, he just had 2 kids again, Coach. He has 3 kids now. I can't imagine.
Our show.
You're damn right. I'll give him an earful.
Yeah, good.
He'll listen to this and he'll be begging for plea.
Good.
I promise you that. But
let us hang, fucker.
Today's a more sad day than most. I could tell you that in the sports world. I know if you're not a sports fan or if you're just a human being in general, I hope you have a heart, and I hope you understand the sadness that just happened yesterday. If you didn't know him, that's okay, but it is.
I didn't.
I know you didn't, Coach.
Never met him.
I know you didn't, but I can tell you that he did touch a lot of lives in his time as one of the best to ever play the game. But I want to start off with your all-star, of course.
Yeah,
man.
about
Drinking beer.
Fancy Clancy, Pilsner from Escutcheon Brewing right there in Winchester, Virginia. This was brand new this year after the Redskins we did over the summer.
Yeah, the John Riggins
first
4th and 1.
4th and 1. This falls in the same vein as that.
Well, where'd you get that then? If the Better Beer Store's gone,
you can get it at Martin's, and I got.
Oh, is that Martin's? Okay, well
I got this one at down at Total Wine down in Gainesville. So Total Wines has a great selection down there. If you ever get a chance, it's pretty good stuff. But I like it. I really like this Fancy Clancy, named after a beer vendor down at Baltimore's Camden Yards. His big tagline was "Who's thirsty? Who's thirsty?"
Yeah,
and they got his.
Are we watching Last Man Standing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Sorry, I love the show.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of politics, well, I'm not a fan of politics, but if you like a bit of assholery, then you'll like this show. But thanks for the beer, though, Coach.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have more than one during this show. That's for damn sure. It's that good.
So the first topic for today, yesterday, it is. If you aren't aware, on social media, it's all over social media and in the news.
It's exploded.
It's exploded, but it exploded in the wrong way too.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant passed away yesterday in a terrible helicopter crash, along with 8 other people in the crash, including his 13-year-old daughter.
They were on their way to a game, weren't they?
I want to say they were, because they were with another family that they knew very well, and one of the teammates of Gianna was in the plane was in the helicopter as well.
Right.
So, and reports just came out today about how the helicopter took a huge climb in the air, and then it just fell. It just dived to the ground, and I can't imagine the
screaming.
I just can't imagine the screaming and
the fear, general fear. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that either.
But Kobe Bryant passed away yesterday, and like I said, it was brought out in the wrong way because I thought it was a joke.
I don't think there was any right way to do it, especially the timing of it. You know, it was like smack dab in the middle of the day.
11 o'clock in the morning or noon. But the fact that I just got on Twitter for a second, I was just wanting to
it was almost
through.
like a joke at first.
Exactly. And I'm like, no, this can't be real. It's TMZ. It's TMZ who reports this. What is this? And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, well, that's got to be a joke.
And TMZ is synonymous with.
And then I started scrolling, and
POS.
I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, this is real.
Yeah.
And then I come to find out about TMZ. And I'll talk about TMZ right now. You guys should be fucking ashamed of yourselves.
Why? Why should they be?
Because
ashamed of
you know why? They broke the news to the whole world, including the family, before the police even told the family that your husband and daughter had died in the plane crash.
Well, that's what they want to do. That's what they do.
I get that, but
that's why people hate their shit. And every time they're on,
You're right.
They're like a punchline. They're not investigative. They're controversial. That's what they do. And that's why the next time they poke their nose in somebody's business, they get punched right in the fucking mouth.
That's why you have all those people that don't like you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just generally. But that's what the media does. They jump on that.
It's just
you can't tell me that NBC would.
You're right.
Would
it's not going to
curb
stop
it in any way?
I'm not saying it's going to stop. It's
Yeah.
just like what happened with.
I mean, I don't want to talk politics,
the
but news
LSU
media in general, just the media in general, they're a bunch of damn vultures.
It's like what happened with LSU a couple weeks ago. When,
Hey, did they win?
Yes, they
Oh,
did actually. Damn it, go Tigers! But it happened against Oklahoma. Remember, Coach Ensminger, his daughter, passed away in a plane crash that was headed to there.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow didn't know anything about it. He's
Right.
not. They don't want to tell him before the game, or otherwise it's like.
Well, I
dude,
guarantee you, if TMZ would have known about it, they would have made sure that Joe Burrow knew before the game.
And
fucked with him.
after the
Guaranteed
game,
you.
Maria Taylor goes up to him and says, "So what do you think about Coach Ensminger's daughter-in-law dying?" And he said, "What? What are you talking about?" Like they
Right.
did,
And
it's
then they stick the camera and the microphone in his face and expects a big news. You know, it's like freaking shitbird. Who was that freaking reporter who stuck the microphone in front of Pete Rose's face and asked him all those questions?
Oh, yeah, and he
Jim
punched-
Gray was it
yeah.
Jim Gray? I wanted him to get jacked right in the jawbone.
Yeah, he did, and he said, "I'll punch you right in your face." But
you know, I don't know. That's
but
just bullshit.
we're not talking about media.
We're not.
You're right. We're not talking about
We're
that.
in media right now. We're in the media.
Coach, you're 52 years old.
I'm 53, but that's
You're
okay.
sorry.
That's another
You're-
story.
You're 53 years old. Kobe Bryant was 41 years
Yeah,
old when he
I know.
passed away.
Yeah, I
And
get
his
it.
daughter was 13
I get it.
years old.
I will say this: it is tragic. It is tragic when you look at the legacy of what Kobe Bryant meant to the NBA. You know, he hasn't played
In 4 years now,
3.5,
2016,
3, 4, whatever, 4 years. He still had a huge impact on the game. The thing that gets me the most about Kobe Bryant, and you could go back to that, what was that sexual assault scandal
Yeah.
or whatever bullshit that was
back
years
in like
ago.
03, yeah.
Whatever. But that to me is minuscule compared to the other things that he's done. Not just
Yeah.
as a basketball player, because we could go through all of his stats.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I wrote
it's
down
crazy.
a bunch of shit.
It's crazy.
You know, what is it? 18-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 5-time NBA champ, 2-time MVP in Finals MVP, 15-time All NBA team, 12 times All NBA defense, and he's 4th all time. LeBron just passed him on Saturday. You know, he's 4th all time in scoring. So when you leave that massive footprint on the game, and people like you, when something this awful happens,
Yeah.
people are going to be upset.
Yeah,
and,
they are.
And I totally get that. I
We
really do.
we don't
I really
personally
do.
know him,
But
but
I know.
it
But the
is-
thing about me is that Kobe transcended the game. There were a lot of other things that Kobe did that people really, really don't know about.
especially after the game when he was done.
Right.
In his
Especially-
business that he
right,
took
and
over.
just everything that he did was this lust for life. And you could tell that being retired and being a former NBA player was going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not going to happen now, but it's a shame. It really is. And I don't mean to minimize his death or anything like that. There are 8 people that were lost, not just Kobe Bryant. There were 8 people. There were husbands, there were fathers, brothers, sisters, cousins, you name it. It was all on that helicopter. And for whatever reason, whatever happened and caused it, so I'm sure the media is going to tell us what really caused it and whatever. It's tragic, but I think when you watch ESPN, of course, is going to freaking lose their mind over this situation because the people that work at ESPN,
Especially people like Jay Williams and
well,
Stephen A. Smith.
you know, they had a connection to him.
Yep.
They had a very, very close connection with him. And now it's awful for them, but you have to see the pain on their face. You have to hear their emotions. You have to hear all those things. it just doesn't feel that way to me. I understand the tragedy. I understand the sadness. I understand all of that. But,
A couple more.
It just doesn't affect me like that.
I understand.
It just doesn't.
But especially for my friend Fawaz, who is a huge Kobe fan. Like, I know that he will always say that Kobe is better than Jordan, and that's his opinion. I don't have an opinion.
He bumped his damn head, though.
I don't have an opinion on who's the greatest ever because I can't compare eras. I just can't.
I know you don't like doing that,
and I don't want to do that.
Like
but
doing that.
But here's a couple more points though about him. I think you really have to see what Kobe did for his business and for his family. Him and Gianna were inseparable. There are so many videos
teaching
of
her the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's
she was becoming an accomplished basketball player.
And there was no NBA player who supported the WNBA more than Kobe Bryant. He was one of the big advocates for the WNBA because he has 3 daughters and he knows that Gianna wants to be a basketball player. And not only that, he is making her into a fantastic basketball player, but unfortunately now she won't be. But there is one clip of him on Jimmy Kimmel. If you don't know who Jimmy Kimmel is, go look him up. But
he's an asshole.
He was on Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah, just sure, it's media. I mean, he was on Jimmy Kimmel and like
girls on trampolines.
Kobe Bryant was talking about like to this person and saying like. The person was saying, well, when are you going to have a son? You got to have someone to carry on your tradition. And Gianna looked over and she said, no, I got this. And, like, that's the type of father figure that he is, though, is that Kobe.
Did you hear that?
Kobe,
did you hear
yeah.
that?
Yes, I did.
Golden,
Kobe had some kids
nectar.
that wanted to be good at what they were doing.
Well, I think that they're,
and that
the
comes
drive
from Kobe.
the drive to compete and to be a top shelf athlete comes from, she comes from great stock, and there was no better competitor in the NBA than Kobe Bryant. And I don't. Once again, I don't want to minimize this. I didn't know Walter Payton either. I didn't know that cat, and I remember the day he died. Yeah. I remember the day he died. I was standing, and your mother told me. She goes, Walter Payton died, and I. I walked into the closet and I cried in the closet.
Yeah, it hits you.
Yeah, it was awful.
Because you never really realize. Well, I know you do, but like, guys, whatever bullshit you have going on in your life, whatever stuff that you hate, if you're yelling at that kid on Call of Duty, if you're pissed at someone
I did the other day, didn't I?
Yes, I know, but I'm just making
Canada?
a point.
But he was from Canada, so who cares?
Whatever problems you have and whatever beef you may have.
He called me a boomer.
It doesn't.
You're
not even from that era.
I know.
They don't even know what the hell that means.
Stupid didn't even know what a boomer is.
Come on now, that fucking Canada. But my point is that whatever beef you have with whatever situation, it doesn't matter in the end of the day because you need to throw it out. Because like I said, at the end of the day, a person who is like Kobe Bryant, who has made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, is gone now. We will never see him again because he has passed away. He has perished from the earth.
I get all that, but his memory, his accomplishments, the film. Holy cow! Just think of the hours of film.
I wasn't trying to say like. I was
just his physical presence.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that
I'm
like,
with you. I'm down with that.
I've seen you with our grandfather.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Yeah,
and like. It's the same thing with I know it's not the same thing with Kobe, but they're gone. And you can't, everything that's in your head, it's just gone. Work, school, whatever. It's just out of your head because you just care about your family.
Oh, yeah.
And that was what happened yesterday, especially with guys on the media like Stephen A. Smith, who literally went on TV and were like, I don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. I loved Pat McAfee, who said I don't want to do this show today, but I am.
Yeah,
I really don't. Want to do this show
and
today.
you're gonna have that. It's gonna sting for a while.
And the Lakers had the right to.
And I think that most people are upset by the loss.
Yes,
obviously by the loss. When they sit back and they have his funeral, and then they have this ceremony or whatever it is that they're going to have. there are going to be a lot more smiles. There will be a lot more
You'll
cheers.
remember the good times.
Yeah, they will remember the accomplishments of a phenomenal basketball player. I think that'll be ultimately his legacy will be Black Mamba.
The Mamba mentality still carries on.
Yeah, I think and I think that's what's important. I think those are the one thing that you have to do is you carry on with his legacy and remember the things that he did for the game and in the game. While tragic, life goes on, buddy. Life goes on. It just does. And if you sit back and you say to yourself, I've lost everything. I can't go on. This is that and the other. Grief will overtake you. You'll end up with depression. You never know what the hell happens.
And I hope that people understand that. I know that a lot of people were crying out saying, like, you need to cancel the games. Look,
it was the best thing they could do.
I understand that was the best thing.
I thought it was cool that they did the 24-second violations. I thought that was really cool.
I thought, Trae Young coming out in number 8 for the Atlanta Hawks. You know, that's what he trained with Kobe this offseason. That's who he trained with. But, like, here's the thing for me about, like, canceling the games. I'm not going to be an asshole here, but, like, that's what Kobe would have wanted you to play those games.
Yes.
He wants you to be competitive.
That's a great point. I think you're right.
He would want you to play those games and remember him by playing those games saying, look, Kobe's out here with us. Let's play the fucking games for him because that's what he would want. He was competitive in practice and in games. He was more competitive in practice. You can ask his teammates. If you had a problem with him, it's because you weren't competitive in practice.
Yeah, you didn't work hard like he did.
And so,
you know what I mean? I get all that.
Yeah. I think that's a great point. Like, I know we're saddened. But the way that you move on from this is remember him by actually playing those games because that is what he would have wanted. Right. That is what he would have wanted.
Yeah, you celebrate because of what his life and legacy has brought to you in the games. And you could probably interview, I don't know, you could probably interview most NBA players, especially the young ones today, and you ask them, how many times were you playing in the freaking schoolyard or in the driveway or wherever, and it's like, Kobe's got the ball, it's 3, it's 2, and he puts it up and he makes his double shoot,
just in the classroom, you're throwing a paper ball into the trash can and yelling Kobe, and that's immortalized forever now. You can't say Jordan, you have to say Kobe because that's what he did. And how many moves did he create for basketball as well? I mean, there's lots of things that I'm not taking any way away from Jordan, but
you can't.
I know you can't, but Kobe is now gone. But I don't think people really realize that. I don't think anyone thought that you could get any better than what Magic Johnson did for the Lakers back in the 90s and 80s. I don't think a lot of people were like, is there anyone going to be able to pass Magic? And then you had Kobe come along. And not only did he pass him, he basically made him look like a shadow of him. And I think that that's really what he did for the Lakers and what he's done for basketball. And what he's done for the
he spent 20 years with the Lakers. He was an icon. And I wouldn't say he surpassed him. He carried on the torch and just took the torch to the next level. Because I would never take away from Magic and Kareem and James Worthy and some of the great Lakers that were playing at the time. And he just continued a great tradition in Los Angeles for the next 20 years. You know what I mean?
And my last point, what will people always remember about Kobe is his last game ever. He scored 60 points. Yeah. In his last game ever.
I think they let him score 60.
I wouldn't be surprised. The Utah Jazz were terrible that year. So,
touch 24, and we're kicking your ass.
And then you had 81 points scored in a game, which is the second most, of course, behind Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt the
Stilt has
banging 10,000 chicks.
Yep, has 100 babies you don't even know about, man. But rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe, it's gonna be.
You'll be missed, but
yeah.
Let's move on. Let's get out of the somber note. Well, actually, on my hops, I have a fucked up story, but it's okay because we're gonna move on to the Super Bowl. Happy Super Bowl week! It is. Sorry to bring up Kobe Bryant. We weren't anticipating that to happen.
No,
we weren't.
Nobody
but,
was.
So happy Super Bowl week. Maybe they'll remember him at the Super Bowl down in Miami.
I'm
Who
sure that
knows?
they'll have a moment of silence or something like that. Maybe. You think?
I hope so. It
wouldn't be far fetched.
wouldn't be
if
terrible
they
to do it.
did.
Absolutely,
That's a good idea. I think so.
But final thoughts for this week. I keep going back and forth now. I thought Kansas City would have, a really good chance to blow them out, but I'm not so sure anymore. I keep going back to San Francisco. I keep thinking about just how good San Francisco was this year. I keep going back and forth on this game, and it really keeps bringing me. And there are some headlines here that actually kind of make me want to cheer for the 49ers.
What?
The first one and the biggest one is C.J. Beathard. C.J. Beathard lost his brother earlier in the year. He was killed in a fatal stabbing.
Yeah, he got stabbed. I remember that.
And I can't help but just think that, you have that hanging over your head, and that's the team is still thinking about that, saying, we're going to keep going on. This one's for CJ. This one's for Beathard, the Beathard family. And even for George Kittle, who knows CJ Beathard. They were teammates at Iowa.
Yeah.
And George Kittle's playing like a bat out of hell right now. He's
he's
a
a
man
good ball
amongst
player,
men.
man.
And,
Good ball player. I like that cat.
And
I just like his attitude about how he plays the game,
yeah, I
Just
believe
something.
a little bit different than Kelsey on the other side.
I'm not a Kelsey fan, but I'm not a Kelsey fan because of the things that he does during a game. But I certainly am never disrespectful of how well he plays.
Of how his game is.
Because dude's got serious
Cat
game.
can play, yeah.
Dude got serious game. So,
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm actually probably going to go with San Francisco now. I still
What?
think it's going to be a good game.
I got it written down from
I know.
the last show.
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be
CJ,
San
you picked
Francisco now.
KC 37-21.
I know. I really.
You want a
keep
second
going
one?
back.
You want another one? Shit, you're the host of the damn show. You can have another one. What are you saying?
Oh boy.
I'm going to put down first choice.
I'm going to go 35-31 San Francisco.
35-31
San Fran.
Second choice. I got them marked. And don't forget, Tom, the old jarhead we had on our show for the first time last time, he picked San Francisco 38-27. High flying. That's freaking 65 points in a Super Bowl. There were 16 points last year.
Yeah.
The professor said KC 28-24, and I flipped it. I said 28-24.
San Fran.
San Fran. I think it's coming down to a touchdown or less.
I really think so, but this game is going to be so fun.
I
to
thought
watch,
about this,
though.
and I was going to ask you this earlier, and then
Okay.
I thought, shit, I'll save it for the show. Does this game come down to, and you know how I am about asking you these questions, does this game come down to Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, or does it come down to Jimmy Garoppolo playing on another level? Because when you look at where Garoppolo has been in the playoffs, he's been good. He's been efficient, but he's not been over the top. He's been no Patrick Mahomes. You got Raheem Mostert, and you've got a running game, and they've relied on solid, very, very solid defense. Does Jimmy Garoppolo have to play his ass off to make this game happen for them, or does their defense have to impact Patrick Mahomes more? So is it San Francisco's D maybe trying to pressure, maybe trying to punch freaking Patrick Mahomes in the mouth, or does it Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm got big nuts, I got to freaking get out of the Tom Brady shadow, I can prove I can win a Super Bowl?
It's both for me, honestly, because
Both?
Jimmy Garoppolo, people really just keep thinking down on him.
Yeah.
But look at what happened last year
I
without
think
Jimmy Garoppolo.
you got to look at the body of work. Yeah.
Look at what happened when he isn't healthy.
Right.
And then look at the year before that when he got traded to San Fran. They won their last 5 games with Jimmy at the helm. And then you transition to the next year, and Jimmy gets hurt in the second game of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What are you going to do with that season then?
Torn ACL.
Then you go to this year. They win 13 games. Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback.
Hell yeah, he is.
And not only just that, the man learned from the greatest. And also, what is so bad about him not showing up because his team is carrying him to victory right now? He only passed the ball 8 times against Green Bay.
Yeah.
They didn't need to throw it. And the same thing with Minnesota. They didn't have the ball for very long. The defense dominated the Vikings. And then once again, the run game for San Francisco took off.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that Jimmy Garoppolo needs to show up, but is he capable of doing it very well? Absolutely. He's proven it time and time again that he belongs in the NFL as a starting quarterback.
Right.
And is a starting quarterback of one of the most rich franchises in the NFL. And then on the other side, the Niners defense, you got to do something.
So he's thrown.
Got to do something.
Yeah. In his 2 playoff games, the divisional round and the NFC Championship, he's thrown the ball 27 times for about 200 yards.
Okay.
Combined.
Okay.
Come on.
I know he only threw it for 88 against Green Bay. So
77 against Green Bay.
Okay. Oh.
And he threw for 130 yards against the Vikings.
Okay.
Now, granted, you didn't have to because, once again, your rushing game was really strong.
Mozart is just ridiculous. And Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman had the big game against the Vikings.
Yeah, and then you have Mozart against Green Bay. But like I said,
yeah, when you look at this rushing stats for those 2 cats, they're like in 2 games they rushed for like 400 yards.
Exactly.
That's a shitload of yards in the NFL. That's huge.
So why are
I'm not saying that down. I'm saying that if Jimmy G throws the ball and he throws the ball effectively, let's say they throw.
He's got a good group of receivers.
I think so. That's why I'm saying this, because my thing is, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's that good. He's
that good. 5 interceptions this year.
He's
ridiculous.
He's that good. And so what I'm basically saying, I think what I'm trying to convince myself of this is, you can't stop Patrick Mahomes. You can't shut him out.
You can't.
So, because his receiving core is just too good. So I don't think you can shut them out, but you can limit them. You can limit them, and you can limit the big play by playing good defense. And San Francisco has that capability, right?
I hope so. They got to get to him, though. They really got to do it.
They do.
They have the defensive line to do it.
Right.
But
I'm telling you that if San Francisco has any kind of ground game and Jimmy Garoppolo can throw because he's an effective passer. He's got good passer rating, 100.4, whatever. 104.2, 100.4. And he throws 15 times in this game and he's effective with the pass game. Buddy, I'm going to tell you what, Kansas City's going to fucking be on their heels.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And that's why I keep going back to San Francisco.
And they got Robbie Gould because he's good as gold. Fuck you,
so technically the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl.
Because the Bears, but ex post facto.
Yeah, because Raheem Mozart came from the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears said, hey, you suck, you're cut. Oh, you're going to play in the Super Bowl? We're sorry, son. You're pretty good.
But I keep going back to the 49ers. I keep going.
We got Mitchell Trubisky. I almost bit my tongue saying that, too.
Yeah, you got Mitchell Trubisky, and Patrick Mahomes is playing in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that the 49ers, they got a good group of receivers, and they got a good offense. And then that defense, man, you really got to get some pressure on Mahomes because oh, my God, the Texans, I fucking hate the Texans.
I don't know that you have to get a lot of pressure on him. I think you have to contain what he does. You have to keep him in the pocket. You have to pressure him. It's one thing to get a sack on him. That's great if you can get the sack. Don't get me wrong. I think that's great on the sack. But if you can pressure him and get him to release the ball before he really wants to me, that's as good as as good as a sack.
This game,
And when you're talking about the Super Bowl, number one thing that, in my mind, whenever you start talking about a game like this, the number one thing I'm thinking of is we have to right away, our number one priority right away is establish field position. We cannot lose the field position battle.
oh yeah,
We
and
can't.
a sack in a Super Bowl is huge.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. It can set you back. And then my other thing was the mentality that the Titans brought against the Ravens
Yeah.
has to happen for San Francisco against the Chiefs. If the Chiefs, if you don't get stops against them, and you don't change field position or force them to punt and get them into special teams possible play, you're going to get your ass kicked. They're going to beat your ass. There's just no way around it.
And also, field position does matter for
Huge.
the Chiefs because, like, they have one of the best kickers in the NFL. Harrison Butker has proven.
With a name like Butker?
Yeah, he's going to kick ass then. But,
But I just told you the 49ers got freaking Robbie Gold.
I know.
Because he's good as gold, damn it.
You got two. You blew it. But you got two good kickers in this game. So field position is going to be huge. Finally, though, whoever wins the white jersey is going to win, though. That's all that matters because it's
so
only
what is the jersey alignments?
Huh?
Do you know what the jersey alignment is?
If San Francisco is the number one seed, they get first dibs. They get first dibs at it.
And they were, well, it doesn't matter what the 49ers were. They've always won. When they
Well, all I'm saying is that, like, it's only happened 2 times since 2010 that a colored jersey has won the Super Bowl. And the only 2 times was the Green Bay Packers winning in 2010.
They beat the Patriots.
Yeah. No, the Steelers. They beat the Steelers in 2010. The 2010 Packers beat the Steelers.
Okay.
And then the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots, and they were wearing their colored uniforms.
Okay.
But other than that, it's been all white. Why do you think the Patriots always wear white? Because they know when they're going to win. They know that the curse is real. Right. So whoever wears the white jersey is going to fucking win. So there's been a call to get the San Francisco 1994 alternate jerseys for them to wear.
That'd be cool.
That was the last time they won the Super Bowl. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So my thing is this. Last thing on this.
Yeah.
Average cost of a Super Bowl ticket.
Holy shit! How much?
Almost $8,000.
That's the average.
Yes, the average cost is from this company I was looking at $7,965.
That's down in Miami too, man.
$4,600. The cheapest ticket they could find was $4,500. And that's probably freaking butt ass up in the freaking rafters.
I don't care.
There's too many damn bugs around you up there.
I wouldn't care, but still $4,000 for that type of ticket.
Almost $8,000 for a ticket. $8,000.
That's awful. That's awful.
$7,965.
That's like a retirement. That's like a bucket list that you have to go and see.
No, I want to go on a free ticket. Somebody,
Oh yeah, one of my players go to the Super Bowl, please. Just get you help out your linebackers coach. But
yeah, I got to get
Super
somebody
Bowl
in the league
this Sunday. Sorry about Biff not being on here. I thought he would be on here.
He is a sorry son of a bitch, is what he is.
Fucking family issues. What a crock of shit. But all right, so we did actually have some football though.
We did?
If you want to call it that. And Kobe Bryant was actually shown during this game on the big board. The Pro Bowl happened on Sunday. It took away from the Pro Bowl. I didn't even think about it honestly because
it happened.
I was doing other stuff, but the Pro Bowl, like.
Why do they even have it?
The game just fucking
anymore.
Sucks, man.
Why do they have it
I hate
anymore?
the Pro Bowl. I know that there are people out there who are like, dude, the Pro Bowl's fun. The Pro Bowl's awesome. It's like, no, it's not. The skills challenges and everything that they do before.
I'm like that.
I'm like, dude, that's awesome. You bring everybody in their position out there. The offensive lineman pushing those sleds with people on them. That's fucking awesome to see. But the game itself, like, they're literally there for that paycheck. If you win, you get $70,000. If you lose, you get $35,000.
What? For a game?
For the Pro Bowl, yes.
Holy
you get
shit.
$70,000.
I got to work a year and a half to get that much money.
Yeah, for just one game, you get $70,000. And if you lose, you get $35,000.
Damn it.
So,
my whole thing, one of my pet peeves about this whole fucking thing, I don't know why, because I wouldn't think about it if it was me as a coach. I don't think about this. The uniforms look like shit.
Red and green.
Or no, this year was tan.
Oh, it was tan? Well, you know I can't see shit. So, like, come on now. Why you bring up that?
They were tan, shitty, tan, gold, whatever
Yeah.
shit color that was. I'm like, whatever. I don't know. I just... there's no tackling. They throw the ball down the field and everybody plays two-hand touch from there. And I get nobody wants to have an injury. I get it.
I know the game's not
understand
supposed
that.
to be taken lightly, but then don't have the game. Just have the skills challenges.
Right, there's no motivation for these guys to even want to go out there and even break a bead of sweat on their forehead.
They literally travel to the other side of the country or down in Florida.
Yeah, it used to be until, what is it, 2016?
2015,
16 or whatever. Yeah. They change the Pro Bowl from stunning, beautiful Hawaii to Florida.
Where the old people look like mummies.
You know, they change it to Orlando. What NFL player, you tell me what professional athlete wants to go to Orlando during the wintertime when everybody and their brother is taking vacations and taking their kids to Florida in the Orlando area to the whole Disney, whatever.
It's a magical kingdom.
Well, I get all that. I get the magical kingdom and stuff.
All right, then go ride the Hulk.
Yeah, but you tell me what guy wants to go down there and take, I guess if they want to take their family and stuff, but you tell me what high-profile athlete wants to go to Orlando at this time of year.
Yeah, I get that. I've never cared for the game except for, like, a couple years ago, I think they had it right. The game was actually kind of good back when they had team captains like Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice picking their teams. And that was fun for the first year that they did it. And then it went away. Because the first year that they did it, it was bragging rights. You know, it's not like the AFC versus NFC. It's like, which the teams just don't care because they got picked on there just because they were in the conference of the NFC and AFC. Back when it was Deion Sanders and Jerry Rice in 2013, this was the last time it was in Honolulu. Man, that game was good. You know what the score was? 21-20. It was literally a grind fest between the two of them. Yeah. And it was for bragging rights, though. It was like I think Team Deion won. I want to say they won. I don't care.
And then, of course, they have also changed it because, you know, obviously the best players. You know, I think there's a lot of guys who want to see and a lot of fans who would love to see.
Is that your third one?
Third what?
Beer.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was just asking if
counting?
I was
what,
just asking. My hand? No, I was just asking. I'm a fucking cop, okay? No, but
you know, they want to see guys like Jimmy Garoppolo. They want to see Raheem Mostert. They want to see Mostert. You want to see freaking Mahomes play. You know, there's guys on this freaking because those teams that are playing and win the NFC Championship games and are going on to play in the Super Bowl. Obviously, if you're going to the Super Bowl, you've got some pretty talented players on your team, and they don't play in the freaking Pro Bowl anymore. You know, where the Pro Bowl used to be after the season, now it's before the Super Bowl, and it's lost its luster.
That is true. I forget about that.
When you see the crowd at at the stadium, it's like, what the hell are people? Why would people spend their money to go watch? I will never go watch a Pro Bowl ever. I'll never. You could give me free tickets, and I don't think I'd go
down to the Camping World Stadium down in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, I wouldn't go. There's just no way.
Well, I think also the Pro Bowl, like I said, you get all this voting on social media for people wanting to get their players
what was
there.
Jarvis Landry doing on there? He had 1,000 yards.
There are people on that list. I'm like,
yards. What? He had 1,000 yards receiving this year. He had 5 touchdowns. There are better receivers out there.
How many games did the Browns win? Oh, that's right. That's right.
How many did they win?
7.
7.
They won 7 games.
Were they 7-8-1 or something?
7-8-1.
7-8-1.
Oh wait, no. Did they go 7-9 or 6-10? Whatever. I don't give a shit.
It doesn't matter.
The Browns suck. yeah, there's players on that list that I'm like, really? Why are these guys here?
And then
What
there's
makes
guys
them
that don't want to play. You know, they don't. They're like, I pass
take
on
my
that.
take my spot.
Take
I don't
my
give a
spot. I
shit.
think that's how Kirk Cousins ended up on the team. He was snubbed originally.
He was snubbed.
I think
okay.
so. I think he was.
I don't care. That's fine by me.
But he had a good season, so I mean, he was probably Pro Bowl worthy. But
That's fine. And last thought, yeah, the Pro Bowl. It really is just like for bragging rights and also just to have fun on the field for an end of year celebration, I guess, for football. But other than that, there's nothing to like about the Pro Bowl for me, honestly, other than seeing guys.
you know, another thing is that the damn rule changes too. They have rule changes. They have freaking
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pro Bowl rules
that they try to implement, and then they don't fucking implement them into the regular season of the next year.
No.
What's the point then? It's like, yeah, we have this good rule. Let's see what you think. Oh, you know what? That's too much work. We're just gonna. It's
already
just a test run.
We already have a hard enough time trying to freaking officiate
It's
a
like
regular
going on a
season
date
game.
with a woman and the woman saying, "Yeah, it's me. It's not you." And then you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm off the hook." And then you go, "Hey, wait a minute!" And then you just go masturbate or something. I don't know. So like the Pro Bowl, we're done with it. It's over. But once again, happy Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I guess when in hindsight, you know, we're trying to determine who is going to have a big splash in this game. If you had to put your finger on the one thing that this game comes down to, what is it? The one thing. If there was a huge impact on this game.
I think it's the turnovers, honestly.
Okay?
I see how Patrick Mahomes can get rattled and try and chuck the ball up into some bad situations, and San Francisco's defense can capitalize on that.
Uh-huh.
I have seen Mahomes do it before. I saw him do it last year against New England in the championship game, where he tried to put the ball into bad situations for his receivers, and guess what? The Patriots capitalized on that. And I can see that is going to happen for San Francisco to put Kansas City in a bad spot, because Richard Sherman on that defense, he knows how to keep those guys intact because he's been in the Super Bowl twice now. This is his third time now. So he knows what to do. So I can already
part
say.
of me wants to think that Richard Sherman is going to have a big impact on this game just simply because he's been there. And for the average player, playing in a Super Bowl is not an easy task. You could be intimidated by the whole process. So, I think that could be huge. So we'll see.
No question. And then on the offensive side, you got Joe Staley, who's an offensive tackle. He was with them whenever they were in the Super Bowl last time. So once again, you have multiple people on this team that know how to give the San Francisco 49ers veteran presence. So it'll be a good one. We'll be back on Monday. We won't be back on Sunday because I got to work in the morning on Monday. So
do I.
I understand that, but they're like guys who do this for a living, that they'll be able to report about it right after the Super Bowl, which sucks that we won't be able to because it won't be over till like 11 o'clock. So because the Super Bowl,
I will be going.
Yes, and if it is a blowout, then I will be asleep.
Yeah.
So. Let's go ahead and finish off this.
And I hope not. I really hope.
I hope it's not like last year. I really don't. I love the Eagles and Patriots Super Bowl because it kept you on your toes, man.
Right. It went back and forth there.
Exactly. It kept you on your toes. Same thing with like the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl a couple years ago. Sure, people will talk about the Falcons Patriots, but like for 3/4 of that game was a shit game.
Yeah, the Falcons were dominating their ass.
So
it was freaking awful to watch. It was just so frustrating, and I don't want to see that.
No, it's just like the Seahawks and Broncos game. That was just an awful Super Bowl.
So commercials.
Oh yeah,
you gonna be watching for commercials?
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite commercial of all time is back in like 2011, where there's literally this couple walking into this house, and they go. I don't know. This house just isn't for us, really. And then he's like, hold on, come back. Just walk out the room. And they walk out the room, and they're like, all right, come back in. And he's like, what about now? And there's just a bucket of Bud Light on the counter. And he goes, we'll take it. And I was like, oh, my God, are you serious? That's how it works. Yeah. Super Bowl commercials are really good.
I like the Doritos ones, and I love the Bud Lights. When they brought the Bud Light Night.
Diddly. Yep.
When they started that shit, I was all in.
And it's continued ever since. I think it's been going on like 3 years now since like they did the Philly. It's been going on since then. Yeah. So yeah, it's a treat to listen to.
I like a bunch of them. I like the Doritos ones. They're simple. I get a chuckle out of them. When they try too damn hard, just not even. What about halftime?
There's a halftime. Yeah. I don't watch the halftime.
I think Pepsi. I don't know. Who's on it? It's
Coke.
Shakira. And
I don't know.
Shakira. Who the headliners for
I
that
could care
shit?
less. I really don't care because I'm not a musician. I don't care for whoever's there. I'm not gonna have my phone up there in the front row trying to get a picture with whoever's up there. I'm not gonna do that.
All right, here it is. Headliner. Well, what happened? There it is. Headliner is now Jennifer Lopez and Shakira will be two artists taking the stage during halftime at the Hard Rock Stadium, Miami, February 2nd.
Oh, so for me, this...
Oh, wait a minute. Yep, that's them.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so you know how much a halftime I'm gonna watch. I just might take a freaking 15 or 20-minute power nap.
Yeah,
and then wake up so I can watch the rest of the game. Because I'm not watching that halftime horse shit, that fakey stuff. I hate all that.
So let's go ahead and finish this up. We got hops.
Oh,
what?
Go ahead.
Do you have something?
No.
Are you sure?
I got a hops, but I don't have any.
Oh, okay. No, I'll do.
You're gonna go first?
Yeah, I'll do mine first.
All right.
I got a really awful one, honestly.
Oh no.
I got a really bad one. So I watch a lot of YouTube, and this just happened this past week. And there's this guy who is named J Station on YouTube. This is a guy who literally just makes the fakest videos on YouTube about like. If you want to learn about it, please don't go look him up because he doesn't deserve your views. But he makes some of the worst videos I think I've ever seen. The people who watch him, I really think you should be checked into an institution because it is. When I watch them, I go, "Who the fuck watches this?" I'm serious.
And you're the one who's watching it.
And I'm the one who goes like, "This fool's got me watching this," but I don't. It's usually segments that are put onto another person's video who's critiquing his videos.
Good.
And I go, okay. And then but the reason I look at his videos is because I want to see who the fuck is watching this guy. And he's got millions and millions of subscribers. And so I go, okay, this guy is just completely lost his mind. And then this week, he outdid it. He had a girlfriend for about 4 months. And he basically came out and said, my girlfriend just died. He lied about the whole thing, did a cover-up story and everything on YouTube to try and get views for his YouTube channel. He did this whole thing, a whole cover-up story, a whole invention of bringing out a Ouija board and trying to talk to her dead spirit and all this shit. All this for views.
And you watched it?
No, I didn't. It was in the news though on YouTube where they were like, "Dude, this guy's insane. He just came out with a video talking about how his girlfriend died." No, she didn't. Here's what happened. Apparently, he came out afterwards and said the video was fake. Well, no shit. I'm not going to believe you if the facts have been true because there was a guy who called up the police and asked like, is there a woman by the name of this name who has been killed in the past couple of weeks by an automobile accident? And they said, no, there hasn't been any automobile accident with that name in it. And you go, okay, that's a little weird then. But then you have a video of him coming out and basically saying, yeah, the whole thing was fake and I was trying to use her to get views on a second channel. And then apparently her parents got involved with it and said, you're going to try and lie and say that my daughter is dead? No, that's not happening. And then apparently,
How did she react? Why didn't she make a YouTube video?
Oh, she did. She
came
broke
back
up
from the
with
dead.
him. She broke up with him.
Did she come back from the dead?
You'll have to watch the Ouija board video, man. Because
no, I'm not watching.
Please
that.
don't, because
No.
it's already been taken down because he's full of shit. He's been completely full of shit. But he did this whole cover-up story to get views for a YouTube video, and then he comes out on a video and starts crying about the whole thing. And then I look at the comments of the video, and there are people who are like, "Dude, I feel bad for you, bro. I can't believe this ever happened to you." And I'm like, "You're a fucking idiot. You gotta be at least like 12 years old. You have to have the mental capacity of a peanut to think that this guy is truthful in everything that he said, because his whole channel was a sham. It's what he literally lied to his entire fan base, and then didn't even tell the girl's parents, yeah, by the way, is it cool if we kill your daughter in a video, and then just she'll be dead for the rest of time? How's that sound? And then she broke up with him because she was like, no, I don't want to be dead. I'd rather be alive. And the whole point of this, Hops, is that the woman is alive,
right?
And the guy literally has done stupid stuff on YouTube his entire career, and this one probably just ended his entire YouTube career.
So?
You don't joke about that,
right?
You don't fucking joke about death.
When you think about these freaking guys trying to, not just guys, when you see these people on YouTube, they're trying to be edgy. They're trying to do all of these things to get viewers and get people to like, and just punch that like button, and I'm shooting for 15,000 likes and blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. Nobody's watching.
He's not even the worst YouTuber. There's another YouTuber, I forget his name. He literally has a video called "Don't Call Thanos at 3 a.m." Thanos. If you don't know who Thanos is an animated character in a movie series who's not even a real person. He's this big purple dude in a movie. And he's like, yeah, don't call Thanos. Oh my God, he's calling my phone. And I'm like, oh my God, the people who like these videos are idiots. You literally are just bringing young kids in as your viewership and making money off of this.
Boomer. Okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer. But that was my really fucked up one. That guy, oh my God.
He faked his girlfriend's death.
He faked his girlfriend's death. And in return, she broke up with him because you tried to fake your girlfriend's death on the internet.
And then eventually probably going to lose his viewership.
Oh, he's probably going to get sued now by her parents because you just tried to fake a death. You can't fake a suicide. I know faking a suicide is I think that's punishable by law, I want to say.
I don't know.
But there are laws out there. You can't just fake a death on the internet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that was my one. Yeah. So that. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Two hops. One really quick. Got to see your grandmother this weekend. Went shopping. Had a great time. Went out to lunch. She said she went out with your uncle, and they went to an Applebee's, and she got a steak at an Applebee's, and she bitched at the waiter. I thought it was funny. She was saying that she got a dry steak, and she said that the waiter was intimidated. And if you saw CJ's grandmother, how she intimidates anybody at 4 feet 8.5 is beyond me. But
she intimidates me, I can tell you that much.
I thought it was funny. It was just good to spend time with your grandmother. We had a great time on Saturday.
I'm gonna give you some advice there. Don't go to an Applebee's and order a steak.
Yeah, don't go to Applebee's and order steak.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Yeah.
Don't go. Just don't go to Applebee's in general. How about
right.
that?
Go to Fridays. Fridays.
I was gonna say, go to Fridays. Don't go to Applebee's.
But we for lunch the next day, and your grandmother never eats out. You know how
I was gonna say
to go out to dinner.
They probably ate out like 8 times a year, and that was it.
Not even that. 8 times in a decade.
Yeah.
But we went to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, they have one up there?
Yeah, it's right by the house, right by her house. So we went over and we had a great lunch. And
hope it was a better steak.
No, she didn't get a steak. She got a freaking giant pulled pork sandwich. And the the sandwich. It came out on the plate. The look on her face, I was just like, holy shit. I was like, Ma, you're not going to be able to eat that, are you? She goes, no, I'll take half of it home and I'll have it for dinner and stuff. But it was really good to see your grandmother. But anyway, so following on the heels of that, I read this stupid article about up in Washington State, the Department of Transportation has cameras set on certain highways just for safety and accountability kind of things.
Sounds normal to me.
Right, it does. I mean, they have their cameras. I saw a video not too long ago that said that on average, Americans appear on camera 7 times every day.
Huh.
So, but on this stretch of road, one of these, of course, it's wintertime, and there's snow on the road, and they're clearing the roads, and somebody saw what looked like a physical feature of something walking in the tree line.
Was it Bigfoot?
Yeah, well, that's what they said.
Oh, my God.
That's what they said. It was a Bigfoot sighting. And
I'm going to go get your gun, Coach.
The picture of it was like, what the hell? There's like, I'm staring at it. I was like, there's no way. That is not Bigfoot. There's no such fucking thing. There's no way that is. And damn if it doesn't look like...
If you know Trailer Park Boys, it's a Sam Squamch over there.
I'm telling you, a Sasquatch, yeah.
No, it's a Sam Squamch. It's from Trailer Park Boys.
But it was convincing. And then I'm staring at it. I'm staring at it, and I'm like, what? I don't want to like that. I think it's a little fishy and what have you. And then somebody made a comment saying that if you look at the timing on the pictures, it's the same. They were taken an hour apart, and it's the same thing. So it's got to be some sort of tree thing, right?
Damn it.
Okay, but wait a minute.
Oh, yes. Please tell me he's back.
No, he's not. Well, in Montana, a 44-year-old Montana man.
Has he got a private jet?
No. No. He's dead.
What?
He was trying to start a Bigfoot hoax. He went to a local supply place, bought a freaking ghillie suit.
No.
And he was standing along the side of the road trying to freaking spark interest in Bigfoot and Sasquatch. And get this. 2 girls ran him the fuck over.
Are you serious?
2 kids. The first car that hit him, the driver was 15 years old as a 15-year-old girl. And apparently in Montana you can drive at 15 with a permit. The second car to clip him, they ran him over twice, was driven by a 17-year-old girl. They fucking ran over this guy. He was trying to start a Bigfoot hoax, and he was out by the highway, and they ran him the fuck over and killed him. They were probably texting, Snapchatting, TikToking.
I just killed Bigfoot.
Yeah, the fucking girls.
No.
I guarantee you they were Snapchatting, freaking Instagram, horse shit, whatever, TikTok, dancing in their car, and this guy on the side of the road, and they fucking plowed him.
That's not funny, but that's hilarious.
It's not funny. A guy lost
hilarious.
his life. But if you read the article, one of his friends was like, he was adamant that he was going to start this rumor, and like he didn't seem... Like he didn't seem like he was all the way there, and I thought, holy shit, that's a great hops of the week. But he got run over twice. The other part is when you read the article and down at the bottom, they're not sure which car killed him.
Oh man! So you're telling me he could have gotten up from the first one,
right?
And then he turns around and there's another.
They said he got hit by consecutive cars. Driven one by a 15-year-old, one by a 17-year-old. Ended up dying. But they're not sure which car killed him.
That's unbelievable. That is awesome.
So that
is a great one.
That's why I said I got one that's kind of goofy. I couldn't.
That's
I just keep reading those freaking strange stories. And this happened last week, so I was like,
that's great.
That's crazy.
That's a great way to end the show. It's been a really somber show. A lot of death in this show.
Oh, shit.
What?
Well, we went from freaking Kobe Bryant to freaking Bigfoot. We've covered it all pretty much, I think.
Yeah, I mean, all we have left now is World War III. That's all we have.
Well, we got to get the Super Bowl in before that happens.
I thank the Lord it's going to be. I think we're going to get hit here really soon, though, with a lot of snow, though. I want to say we are, because we haven't had any. We haven't had that much snow here. I want to say we are going to get hit with snow.
I don't know.
Sometime soon. So, but it's a sad day once again. But enjoy the Super Bowl week, guys, because this is hopefully turning out to be a very good Super Bowl, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. But
yeah, so am I. I hope it turns out to be a great game.
But like I said at the beginning of the show, whatever you have going on in your life, always remember that you're always going to have someone there that cares for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to have family there that will love you and support you. So whatever you have wrong in your life, and whatever kid you're yelling at Call of Duty, whatever kid ran a Hail Mary on you in Madden, don't get mad about it.
No, I'm getting pissed at that kid from Canada because he's from fucking Canada, but I don't care.
Okay, Boomer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you hate that.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, enjoy the
anyway.
Super Bowl week. We both picked the 49ers, so we'll see you guys on Monday, though. But
You got 2 picks, but that's okay.
I changed it. I'm going back on it.
Well,
yeah.
We'll keep them. You could be right either way. We'll just see. We'll reflect back on that.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Monday after
Hey,
the
see
Super
you guys.
Bowl, guys.
We'll talk to you later.
Peace out. Love you.